Okay, so today's question is people who got the needle, what's going to happen 2 years from now? Okay, so these are the cards that I pulled. Okay, so you have the Ten of Cups, Ten of Wands, you have the Strength card. Okay, you have the Devil card, you have the King of Cups, you have the Priestess card, and then after that I asked for some advice. Okay, so you have the um, yeah, you have the Hanged Man. Okay, so we also have the Nine of Cups. Okay, so as you can see, there is a lot of major arcanas. Okay, so let's just get started. So this is the first card here. Oh, okay, so the thing is, let's just talk about these three cards. So at the current moment, there are people who, they're walking alongside this huge building here. And the huge building, it represents the powers that be, the the establishment. Okay, and if you look at them, these people are actually struggling, but they are taking it in their strides. They're taking it in their strides as if it's the normal thing to do. Okay, and it's normal to be maimed, it's normal to be poor. Okay, but they don't realize how maimed and poor they are. Just look at the establishment here. They're housed in a building which definitely will cost a lot of money to make. Okay, and the establishment is rich, but the people are poor, the people are maimed. Okay, so that is the current situation as it is now. Now, then moving on, these people, these two people, they pay homage to the establishment. Okay, so here you have the Hierophant. So basically, it is like he gives the authority, or he is the authority, and the people listen to him, even though it causes them to be maimed, it causes them to be poor. Okay, but they think that the establishment or the authority is protecting them, or they are doing it for their own good. Okay, so then after that, this is where the card where they get the needle. So if you can see here where they get the needle, and here they are celebrating, but in reality they are still like this. Okay, so this is in their mind. This is what is playing in their mind. After listening to the authority, they will then get the needle, and everything will be well. Okay, so the other thing is I want to say about the authority is that it is a relationship between the public and the authority. You see, these people, they don't want to think for themselves. They always depend on the authority for direction in their life. And the authority also depend on these people. Without these people here, which is essentially them, okay, without these people here, he will have no role in society. Okay, so he depends on them for his status, and they depend on him for their direction in life. So this kind of situation will only happen for those people who just depend on the authority. Okay, so because of the authority tells them to, then they go ahead and get the needle. So now the thing about getting the needle is what happened is that you get a situation where you get the needle, and then after that you get to take picture that, oh, I have the first needle, and I got a certificate. So that is what they are kind of like celebrating. Okay, it's a bit mad, because why would you want to announce to the world that you got the needle? So right now it's a bit mad the way the world is. So anyway, they do celebrate, and they want to announce to the world they're very happy. They think they're very happy, but if you look at her hand, okay, if you look at her hand, they're looking into each other's eyes saying that, okay, we have accomplished this, we got the needle. But if you look at her hand, she is, to me, it's like she is grabbing onto his hand. Okay, and here they look happy, but if you look at her face, let's see whether I can get. Okay, this doesn't look, her face looks like she feels deep down that even though she got the needle, there's something wrong. She can feel it, there's something wrong. Okay, and which is why she's holding on so tight to his hand. She is like grabbing his hand, like something doesn't feel right, but he's not suspecting anything. Okay, it's just her inner feeling. Okay, then after that, then the next card is this one. So basically what I'm saying is that the two of them have become a situation where it's like this. Okay, so from here it has come to here, two separate cards. Okay, so let's have a look at it. So now this is kind of getting the feeling that this could be 2 years from now, okay, or in the future. Okay, it's just he himself on the earth plane. And if you look at him, he is carrying all these wands. Now, usually what happened is that in the 10 of wands, what happened is that you have the person moving from left to right and going uphill. So that means when we read a sentence, it goes from left to right. So going to the right, it means that you're going towards a destination. But here he is moving from right to left. So what I'm getting here is that it has become his way of life now. It is not where it is the end of the journey for him where he is near his destination. This is his way of life. And let's look at his way of life. So his way of life is right now he is clutching at the wands. He needs two arms to hold on to them. He is kind of like in a precarious situation. He needs to carry all those wands. So the thing about these wands is that it's heavy, but yet he needs to hold on to them. Okay, so in 2 years from now, his life situation will be precarious. Okay, it will be in such a way that, you know, it's kind of like clutching at straws, that kind of thing. It's a precarious situation, it's a heavy burden. Okay, and if you look at his face, it's no longer, you know, here it shows his face, there's a lot of vitality. Okay, so once again, this is what they feel on the surface, but in reality they are just this. They think by taking the needle that everything, all their problems would be solved, and that they would be, you know, everything would be solved. But in reality, this would be their life still, because why? They depend on the authority. Okay, so in a few years from now, this is what I get. Okay, now I don't tell time, so I don't know whether this is 2 years from now, but since the question asked that and the cards therefore shows this, so it has to be around there. Okay, so here this is where it shows him carrying on a burden, and this is basically his physical health. Okay, so here he has this look of, you know, you're carrying around this thing which is a burden to you, and kind of like he also has this look like a bit of regret and some denial as well. Okay, denial into what has happened. He doesn't want to accept it, so he just keeps on looking down. But when he looks down, he also thinks of the dreams that he and the woman had. Okay, so it's now just him on the earthly plane. Now also in this card it shows that actually if you look at nature, nature is bright, nature is green, and that is the reality. Okay, if you look at nature, why would we have this this situation of fear situation, nature itself shows that everything is well. So why is it that humanity has to be singled out for this particular fear situation, infectious disease fear situation? Why is it that humanity has to be singled out? Even the animals are not singled, are not part of this. Okay, so just common sense will tell us that there is no such situation, that it is all made up. Okay, so anyway, this one, he is just, carrying on his burdened life, and he's also thinking, okay, of the dreams that they had. So these are the dreams that they had. So as they go through reality in life, because this is what the establishment gives the people, they make it such that we are poor and we are maimed. People also have dreams, and these are their dreams. So they dream of, having a nice place to live, children all around them, but it's not achievable because the cups and the rainbow is up in the sky. Is it, to me, that shows that dreams, but it's not achievable because of the system that they are willing to subject themselves to. Okay, so here she is, and here they are. To me, the children is just part of the dream. So this is kind of like a dream card. They're looking into what their dreams are now as they're dreaming. So here he is. So basically she is the main person in this card to me. And if you look at her dress, she has a belt on. This is why would she have such a thick belt over her dress? Okay, so to me, this belt, it represents when you tighten a belt around you, you feel a tightness. Okay, you feel some kind of restriction. So in this dream, okay, that they have, there is some reality which is shown out in this dream, and that is the restriction on her. Okay, so the restriction comes in from her waist onwards. Okay, so this is their dream, but some reality seeps in, and that is she is not able to achieve the 10 of cups, meaning whole family, loving family. She is not able to achieve this, two children running around, because of this restriction. She needs to take off the belt. Okay, but she doesn't. Okay, so then going on, so what I'm kind of getting the feeling is that there is some kind of fertility issue. Unless you take off the belt, okay, you will always have this fertility issue. Okay, so this is, once again, in 2 years, this is what happens. And also, where is she? I'm kind of getting the feeling that she is on a different plane. She is no longer on the earth plane. And you may feel sad, but actually, the earth plane is not the only plane where we can exist. We can also exist on other planes. So she has decided to go on a non-earthly plane. Okay, and this is where, once she gets onto that, then she has regained her full power, the infinity sign over her head. She has strength, she has the skill, she has mastery over the beast, or she has mastery over, or she just basically has gained her full strength back. Okay, as opposed to him, he is on the earthly plane, and so being on the earthly plane, then he is tied down by all this, by his thoughts. Okay, the thoughts that he has. Okay, so basically, if you're on the earthly plane, then you are more susceptible to the earthly thoughts that you have, and sometimes these earthly thoughts can be a burden to you. So she, on the other hand, she has passed on. She is on a different plane here, and this is where she has regained back her strength. Now, the thing is, regarding this needle, it may not sound, this kind of situation, but if you look at the other side, what happened is that she got some task to carry out, and in order to do that, she needs to free herself. She needs to free herself, okay? She needs to take off the belt. In order to take off the belt, she is being on the earthly plane, she is so tied to the system that even in the dreams that she brings along this restriction, okay, and is kind of like impeding her fertility somehow. So by going on the to free herself from these thoughts, these earthly thoughts, these earthly societal norms, she has to leave the earth plane to regain back her strength. And once she does that, this is where then she is able to free herself from the bondage here, in order to do whatever that she really needs to do. Okay, do whatever that she really needs to do. So to me, this is a freedom card. This is true freedom. This is not freedom card. This is just dreaming card. This is the freedom card. Now he also achieves freedom as well, but his path is different from her. Okay, so let's see how. So eventually what happened is that he becomes from this to this one, the King of Cups. So in the King of Cups, if you look at his face, he is now through the true life itself, it has taught him much. Okay, so this is how he achieves freedom. So basically, for those people who go through the needle, they either pass on or they go through the experiences in life. Okay, now I'm not saying everyone will pass on. I don't know the percentage of people staying on the earthly plane and those people who pass on. Okay, but anyway, yeah. So for those people who do stay on earth and where they do feel the effects of the needle, they will just have to go through life experience so that they learn. And what they learn is that they learn to be able to distinguish between this and as well as this. So basically from here, he realizes that when we go through the system, okay, where we depend on the establishment, and from there we come up with our own dreams, based on the societal norms that you must be rich, you must have a happy family. The moment you do that, you subject yourself to what the narrative wants you to think. And basically the narrative wants us to be tied down to the system. So then this is where he realizes that the dream that they had, okay, it is just based on what the narrative has been pushing. And because of our wants and desires here, we are also accomplice to the system that they have come up with. Okay, so it's not just, we can't just blame the system. We also have to look into ourselves that we also wanted it. We also desired it. Okay, so we tied ourselves very willingly, as can be seen by here. Okay, so we close our eyes. We close our eyes to what the outcomes will be because we want so much to fulfill our desires. Okay, and so we have been slave to the establishment, and then from the establishment through their narratives they have been feeding us, okay, what should be our dreams, what should be our life goals, and by that we are tying ourselves to the system. Okay, so once again it goes back to this one. They need us. Okay, they need us to give them their status. We also need them if we want directions in life, if we don't want to think for ourselves. So here you see the people's eyes, they're closed. Okay, so basically it shows that whatever the system tells them, they will just take it. They don't want to open their eyes are closed. So he realizes this. Finally he realizes this, and then after that, this is where he gains the wisdom. And on the other side, how he gains the wisdom is through it's not secret knowledge, it is subtle knowledge. It is subtle knowledge that has always been there, that doesn't push itself to the front, unlike this where it's always pushing the narrative. Okay, but this is all within us, this knowledge that we have. We just have to access it. It is always readily available. Okay, is whether we want to use it or not. So that is what he has been using in order to gradually get himself out of this situation, or to free himself from this situation. Just like her, she has freed herself from this bondage, and so has he. Okay, but he does it through the life experience in order to reach this. Okay, yeah. So then the other thing is, I wanted to ask is any advice to be given. So for those people who um, want to take the needle. Okay, so basically this is the advice that I got. So basically the advice here, this is the Trump um, okay, I was going to say this is the trumpet card. This is the justice card. Well, okay, this card to me, the thing is, the advice is just that they're trying to push their agenda. Okay, this card in this context, they're trying to push this agenda. As you can see, there is the flag here. This is the flag, Switzerland flag. Switzerland flag comes to mind. Davos comes to mind. Uh, the new economic plan, or the new age plan. Okay, so they are trying to push it upon us. They're trying to push it upon us, and some of us think that this is a good thing. Okay, now this card is basically for those people who still believe in the system. Okay, so who still believe in the system. So basically it is telling us that these people who are pushing the narrative, there are kind of like magicians, like those street magicians. Okay, where they want to kind of like channel something from above onto the earth plane, and what they put on is they put on a facade that they are good. Okay, they put on a facade that they are good people, they're doing it for our own good. Okay, however, they are the magicians. They're trying to deceive us. They're trying to deceive us by they're trying to deceive us by okay, they're trying to deceive us by showing us that they are doing it for our benefit. Okay, so basically this card here, to me, it is kind of like them trumpeting, okay, or telling the people, announcing to the world that this is a good thing that we are going to do for you. But actually the thing is, they are deceiving us. They're trying to make it look good. Okay, yeah. So, and also it also includes the needling. Okay, then after that, so what's going to happen to these people? Do we have any advice for these people where, they carry such burdens? So basically, what I'm getting here is that just hang on in there. Hang in there, okay? Because actually there is already an antidote. There's already an antidote, and it's something that you can even drink. Okay, so just to hang on in there, and there is an antidote. Now, I was watching a video the other day, and it seems that I came across this where it talks about this pine tree tea. Okay, pine tree tea. Another word for it could be uh, suriman, but I could be wrong. Suriman is 100-year-old over concoction, and it is the major characteristic of this drink is it is anti-parasitic. So basically, anything which is anti-parasitic, it would help for those people who have gotten the needle. And there are other ways you can also when it comes to the hanged man. The other thing about the hanged man is that you need to be fasting. Okay, now there are ways to fast. You have to fast under supervision if you have not done it before. and you cannot push your body to such an extent that you are going to harm yourself through extreme fasting. But um, look up fasting, do it, see how to do it properly. It could be, it could be like eating less. You can start off slowly, eating one meal a day, and so on. Adjust your body. The thing is, your body is your vehicle. You know it best. Okay, so here also it shows the cup here. So it also points to eating less so that you have more energy to recover from the needle. Okay, now remember, every time you eat, then the body needs to reserve energy for processing the food. So always try to go for natural foods, and while you're going through this period, and then after that, do some wise fasting. In other words, eating less. Okay, so basically that is the question. So the question was, those people who got the needle, what's going to happen to them 2 years from now? Okay, thank you.